So how are you tonight, my friend?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing well, thanks. I've been watching your show for a little bit. I figured, man, everybody's in bed. That's why it's so dark. I came out to the car to give you a call. I don't want to wake anybody up.
Oh, out in the car. Well, that's cool though. That's cool. Yeah.
I
And
actually it's the Zoom program to talk to Drone Kings in Darwin. He's the one who got me to download this program, and him and I chat back and forth.
hmm,
The guy's great, man. He's awesome. He gets to scan some of my videos once in a while before I post them live. I'll unlist them, and he checks them out for me. And
well,
he's
really?
he's a great guy.
Yeah, yeah. Well, he's been on the show.
Yeah, I know. I watched
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
And
Told me he was on, and when you put it up, I got to watch it.
I totally agree. He's a great guy, and I had a lot of fun on the show. Little too hard you on yourself there, Drone Kings, but no, you did great, man. It was a lot of fun. But I'm trying to go to your channel here for a second. It looks like
Sure.
you haven't chatted for a while, but I'm certainly a subscriber. I was taken by what you were doing. Gosh, where is it? Come on.
I was the one who said the room didn't work, and that was my fault, man. I was putting in 4,000-26907, not 4400-26907. That was my fault. I'm sorry.
Oh no, that's okay. I mean, it's one of those things where you're limited by whatever they give you. They've got to choose a number based on all the other meetings they may or may not have going on at the same time. There it is. Yeah. Yeah, I want to talk, if you don't mind, I want to talk about your channel for a minute.
Sure. No, I'd love to. That's fine. Talk about anything.
As soon as it comes up here. Yeah, I mean, recommending channels, that's fantastic. That is fantastic. You and I are sitting around the same subscriber level. When did you start?
January 8th or January 9th.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so we got about the same time in. I mean, I was just prior to the first of the year, but I would say that was good progress, but I only have myself to to compare it to.
Well, I think that we're both making good progress. I was wondering when I started to grow, and we've been sitting right around the same for about a week and a half now, which has really kind of bummed me out. But
Yeah.
I know I lost a week and a half. I was really sick. We didn't put any content out, and that really upset me that I couldn't. That's kind of where I fell stagnant. I mean, we jumped from 315 to wherever we're at now over the past couple of days when we put some videos out. So it's at least a little reassuring, that I'm getting subscribed now. But but I Googled it. I wanted to know, so I Googled and I said, I think I asked, what's the average time to get 100 subs on YouTube? Because I just wanted to know, and I read a lot of Reddit and things like that.
Uh-huh.
And over on Reddit, people are like, man, I'm so happy. I've been doing this for 14 months. I finally hit 100 subs. This is awesome. And, whatever. But the basic answer I got was 6 to 8 months is usually about your 100 sub mark, So to be over 300 after 2.5 months, I was pretty happy with that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I like they were saying in the chat that is an accomplishment, because I've heard the same thing on that 100 thing, and was almost disheartened by it. It's like, oh, really?
Yeah, I don't think I'll ever, I'm not ever expecting to make any money off this or anything like that. But the more people that I can entertain, the more people I can help out, the cooler it'll be. I thought for a while about what I wanted to do. I actually started a YouTube channel about 2 years ago, and I just vlog daily. I just poured my life onto the internet every day.
Yeah.
Everything going through, and at the time I had a woman who was like a mom to me growing up. When I grew up, my parents were kind of absent a lot when I was growing up, so my buddy's mom kind of took me under her wing, and she was going through cancer at the time and eventually passed away. And I talked about all that, kind of dumped it all out there,
Yeah.
and did it under a different name. I wrote a couple children's books a few years ago, and I used the character from those children's books. That's the name I used on the channel. So you'll probably never find it, but I actually I'm just going to unlist the channel, because now that I'm doing this, I don't want somebody to like find that someday and be like, what the heck is this, you know? But so I thought about it a little bit, and then my son came to me and said, Dad, you know, I really want to do a YouTube channel. Like after the first year, can we start something? I want to do something. And I was like, yeah, what do you want to do? He's like, I don't know. And I was like, well, we can't just turn the camera on and just record ourselves. It's not, you know, trust me, that doesn't work. I tried that. So then, you know, I started watching a lot of videos from Sean Cannell and Nick Nimmin, all those great, amazing guys. And it's funny. I was actually one of my videos talks about this. I want to preface this by saying I absolutely love Nick Nimmin. I got that guy's bell rung every time he comes on. I watch all the guy's awesome. He's amazing. But I was in the chat one day, and he was like checking out channels, and then like I don't know, I comment, and he's like, "Oh, let me look at your channel." And he looked at me, he's like, "I don't get it. Like this doesn't make any sense to me." He's like, "You do realize that YouTube has a search bar, right?" And I'm just like, "Oh." He's like, "YouTube does that for you. There's no need for you to do a channel on that. This doesn't make any sense." He just kind of left me there and moved on to the next person. I was like, "Oh."
Crush.
I got off, and then I was like, you know what? That's why I made that video. I was like, I want to make a video to explain. Not that I think Nick Nimmin will ever come to my channel, except for that one time. But I just wanted to make a video to explain like what we're really about. You know, like we're trying to think outside of the algorithm. We're trying to build up a lot of small YouTubers. We're trying to, you know, like I tell people all the time, you know, like, you know, Jim, if you go on and you're looking for microphones and you know, classic cars and archery, you know, when you log on to YouTube, all the things they're going to show you are going to be about those three things.
Oh, yeah.
And there's some amazing channels out there that you may not even think to search. You may not even think that you're going to like them. But all of a sudden, like, you know, have you ever found yourself where you find a channel and all of a sudden, you know, you're in the rabbit hole and you've been binge watching for an hour?
Oh, yeah.
And you found it by chance. So I just want to, you know, I do the rabbit holing for everybody. And then, you know, I start finding these cool channels and I stick them out there. And we're about to revamp our YouTube page and start categorizing. We're almost there to the point where now we can have categories, you know, like cooking channels, sports channels, you know, whatever. So, you know, and, you know, there's a couple things, you know, there's no genre of YouTube channel I won't cover. Mm-hmm. Eventually, I want to have a genre for everything. If you look at the After Dark episode 2, I talked about this guy Joe Cronin. You know, Joe Cronin is not safe for work. Let me tell you, not. But the guy's awesome, and he's actually got 4 different channels. And he's got a podcast, a gaming channel. He's got one. He's got a news channel where he kind of attacks the news or whatever. But his biggest channel, where he's got like 64,000 subs, is he gets on and does this wrestling show after every wrestling show that's on TV. But it's like, I got friends that don't like wrestling that watch it because it's just smash mouth, vulgar, in your face. But again, there's nothing I won't cover. Mm-hmm. That's why I started After Dark series, because I want to be able to bring those kind of channels to light as well. I can't bring those kind of channels with a 12-year-old sitting next to me. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
So I have my own outlet to do those, but eventually we'll do everything, you know? Mm-hmm. That's the thing. And the second thing, too, that I've always, you know, and I never, like, I don't think I've ever said this on video before or anything, but eventually I want to, because I've had a few people ask me, you know, I mean, if somebody says to me, hey, my buddy's got this channel, I want you to check it out. You know, I'm going to go check it out. And yeah, I may end up, you know, featuring it someday. But I've actually had people email me. I've only gotten 3 emails. I got viewthis@gmail.com, and I've only gotten 3 emails ever from YouTube from people, you know. I send all my own graphics to myself back and forth through my phone and my computer, and I use it for editing all the time. But I've gotten 3 emails that weren't from me. And all 3 of them were people offering to PayPal me money to feature their channel.
Wow.
And I'm like, all right, number 1, no. Number 2, will always be no.
Yeah.
And number 3, every one of these people had more subscribers than me. All 3 of them. I'm like, number 3, I got a lot less subscribers than you. Why do you want to be on my channel? I mean, hey, thanks, I appreciate it. But seriously, man, you know, at the time, the first one I got, I had like 89 subscribers. And this guy had like 843 subscribers. And like, hey, man, will you feature my channel? Do you really think you're going to get that much more out of it?
Yeah.
I got 89 subs, bro.
I'll tell you why I think that happens is because they see future value in it.
Well, yeah, you know, that's the whole thing. You know, once you're there forever.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, if I grow up and get over 1,000 subs, 1,500, wherever the sky takes me, the sky's the limit. You know, then you're always going to be there. You know.
Oh yeah.
The guy that I ever featured on my channel had 160,000 subs, and I did a video about him, and he was going live, and he was like, "Hey, anybody who's going live, if you want me to come, you know, if you want me to call you on the phone and do a phone interview with you, I'll do it." So that's how I got my first 30 subs. I went to Instagram, I sent him a message. I'm driving down the road working, and my phone rings. I answer the phone. He's like, "Hey, what's up, man? It's Reyes the Entrepreneur." I'm like, "You gotta be kidding me," you know? It's like, over the side of the road, and I chat with this dude for a few minutes, you know? So by the time it was over, I had 30 or 31 subs at the end of that day. I was stoked, you know? and but you know what? This guy keeps in touch with me. He's almost at 200,000 subs now, and he sends me a message once in a while on Facebook Messenger. You know, he pops once in a while. He'll pop by the channel and say hi or whatever. He subbed to me that day while we were live on the air. It's my, you know, he's the sub with the most. He's my sub with the most subs. You know.
Yeah.
But a good down to earth dude, man. You know, and it's pretty cool. You know, I don't do this for. You know, I don't expect anybody that I ever feature to like do a show about me or even say anything. That's fine. You want to come by and leave a comment? Hey, thanks for the shout out or whatever. Cool.
Sure.
I do this because I really believe that eventually I can be the channel people can come to and say, "Hey, I want to watch videos about outdoor people,"
mm-hmm.
and then they look like, "What the hell is a mitten dad?" I'm just kidding.
Oh, a little jab at Mitten Dad. You gotta love that. Oh, by the way, Turtle Creativity, how you doing, hon? Thanks for being here.
I can't see the chat, but hi, Turtle.
Oh, she's great. I've been watching a lot of her videos. She just brings calm to me. And then when something exciting happens, it's fun to watch. Mitten Dad says, "Ad viewed this funny guy."
Yeah. Man, I've gotten into Mitten Dad lately, man. I've been watching a bunch of his stuff. He's awesome.
Oh yeah, homesteading with the Herberts. How you doing? Is that New Hampshire? Is you're talking about? You're from? Cool. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, hey man, you got to keep up with the chat. I get it, man. You're the host. I'm just all the
like I said though, I think it's a fantastic. I don't know where Nick was coming from with that because I think it's a fantastic concept. Especially, you know, if you don't concentrate on the 3-digit folks, you're going to expose a lot of people to channels that you wouldn't normally be exposed to.
You know, and that's the whole thing. If you go to my channel and you look through, I've done, you know, a smaller, because we do 3 episodes now. So we do our pick of the week, which could be anybody. You could be, you know, from 1,500 subs to PewDiePie,
mm-hmm.
and you're going to land. We do the YouTube shout out of the week. That's anybody who is 1,500 subs or less. Could be anybody. You could be new, or you could be on YouTube for 12 years. But if you're under 1,500 subs, that's where you're gonna fall.
Yeah.
And there's Viewed This After Dark, and that's all the mature content stuff that we're starting to do. That I'm starting to do. So on that one, I did Beer, Bourbon, and Games. Great channel. Got his awesome bourbon reviews for like whiskey. I did the Joe Cronin show. And then I just released one with Queenie Todd and Dave Maggot in their horror channels. Yeah, but I mean, like, the only time we've broken our rule, we wanted to break it. We broke it once. When my son wanted to do for the YouTube shout out, he wanted to do channels under 200 people, under 200 subs. And I was like, listen, man, like, we want to bump that up a little bit, Yeah. But we did go over the 1,500 last week. And I really felt it was necessary because I really wanted to feature this guy, and I don't know if you ever checked out MJ Rock, but that guy's amazing.
I have actually. Mm-hmm.
Man, I'll tell you, he's amazing. Watching that guy build a song from start to finish is unbelievable. He did a song with James Cox that blew me out of the water. I listen to it every day. It's called Money, and it's hilarious, and it's awesome, and it actually is really catchy song. But I work as a sales manager. I work for a liquor company, and I manage an entire sales team.
Oh, okay.
When he released that song, I sent the link out to that song to my sales team the next morning. And I was like, listen to this song. You have to be a money magnet or you're not going to succeed. And I got 3 guys on my team who tell me every day, they send me a text in the morning, like, just listen to Money Magnet. I'm ready to go. Like, they're listening to MJ Rock every morning now. You know? Love it, you know? So.
That is cool. That is cool.
Yeah.
And I have such respect for artists that can do that. You know, being a musician myself and not having followed that dream early on, I love when I see people do that.
Yeah, there's another channel I found. I can't remember. It's Jace. He's a poet. Damn. But I watch him every day. It's Jace Jar. But if you're talking about turbo creativity bringing peace to you, and she's awesome. I love her. She's awesome.
Oh yeah.
And this Jace is great too. Like he's just like he's very hey man. He's peace and happiness and namaste and but he just like pulls a thought out of a jar and then just rattles off a poem for you.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, man. And he does it daily. It's called Poetry from the Jar or something. Dude, it's awesome.
You get a chance when we close out, drop that in the chat, will you? At least his channel name.
Yep.
That'd be cool. Jelly Duck 100, how are you, my friend? And we got Dangerous Criminals back from editing. Yeah, I just love finding channels that are way off the beaten path.
Yeah,
I think I'm probably like you. You know, you find yourself in YouTube hell quite a bit, just right down that rabbit hole. And you get, if you get deep enough, you find them. But that's the problem. You have to get deep enough, otherwise you're just fed what YouTube thinks you want to see.
So what I started doing was, I kind of talked about this. I did a live stream one night, and I was talking about it. Like, I have a pile of dice in my drawer on my desk.
Mm-hmm.
My old Dungeons and Dragons dice when I was a kid, and a bunch of other dice and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'll literally roll dice, and then whatever letter it corresponds to in the alphabet, I'll punch that in the search, and then I'll roll them again. And I do that, and then when I finally got enough of a word where it's not just like a bunch of consonants next to each other, then I'll search, and then I grab a whole handful of dice and I'll roll them, and then I count that many videos out and I start there.
Oh, that's cool.
And then I go into their videos, I go into their comments, and I start creeping the people in the comments looking at their channels. Random live streams of people that I'm not subscribed to, or live streams that that I'm subscribed to. I watch your show. Idiot of the Day is another good one. There's a bunch of out there that I love being a part of and I love jumping into,
Mm-hmm.
But I'll go tonight and jump into a stream where there's no one in there I know. I don't know any of those channels. I've never heard of them. And I just creep away. Just start finding people,
I do the same thing. Absolutely.
Yeah, I find folks, and it's, I don't know, the idea to do the channel guide. There's actually I talked about Reyes, him, and there's 2 channels that I was like telling my friends about, and they're like, wait, you want to watch this entrepreneur guy? I'm like, but this guy's great. He's just he's all over the place. He'll do anything to make money, Another one that I found that I started telling people about, and they were like, I'm not watching that. That's stupid. And then I had people come back and they're like, okay, I'm hooked. I'm watching this stupid show. Is called Ants Canada. We did a show about them as well.
Ants Canada.
Yeah. And those are the ones that made me, this guy's Ants Canada is like, I never thought ants would be amazing. And he introduced all these different species and shows you how they live and what they do. And I don't know, it's just weird, but it's cool. God, I've watched hours and hours and hours of that show. It's unbelievable.
Well, I still can't believe our friends up north have ants. As cold as it is. That's so cool. That is so cool. Have you ever thought about if you look at my last thumbnail when I was it was Thursday night's thumbnail when I was talking about doing the channel reviews. Did you see how I had an over the shoulder and it was actually a screenshot of my channel? I wonder if that would work on your thumbnails, because maybe if Nick had a point at all, is like, I don't know what I'm looking at when I see the thumbnail necessarily. But go ahead.
To be fair, when Nick looked at my channel, I had different thumbnails.
That was a long time ago, relatively.
I was probably 4 or 5 episodes in. I don't think I found that thumbnail generator until about the 7th or 8th episode in TubeBuddy. And then I started using it to build thumbnails. So yeah, I mean, it's that's why I put the name of the channel in the title. And I get what you're saying. I've learned how to edit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm learning how to green screen right now. I'm learning everything from scratch. So learning how to make a channel banner and thumbnails and stuff is like kind of my next thing.
Well, I like your banner. It's I would think that the thumbnails would just need a little work to give people an exact idea what they'd be looking at, you know, when it shows up in a list. Maybe even adding something so simple like After Dark. You've got After Dark : episode 2 and 3. You could literally do a hard bar or a hyphen or even another semicolon and say recommended channel. Then suddenly it becomes, you know, completely clear. It's, oh, okay. This is After Dark is a recommended channel given the and then Joe Cronin. You could actually add that to the title as well. Yeah, I'm just trying to think about how I would see this. Every time I go look at channels, I look at it as though I don't know you. I don't know, you know, I don't know anything about you. And I think, what would I think and about that? And what would I think I'm going to get when I click on that? You know what I mean?
And that's really important. You know, I mean, that's one of the first things you hear about when you listen to guys like Niman and guys like that. You know, anybody who's going to tell you about the top 5 things you need to do to be more productive and do better on YouTube, thumbnails is always in that top 5.
Yeah.
I know I suck.
No, you don't suck. It's just I'm trying to give you an outsider's view, because believe me, I know as a graphic artist of over 25 years, the first thing you do is you get too close to it, and you need that outside opinion to kind of say, oh, okay, that's fresh eyes. That's what they get from it. It's not what I got from it because I was too close to it. So
what I started doing in the last few is I started taking a picture of the person, because I always put the channel banner on the thumbnail. You see the channel banner for every channel is on there.
Mm-hmm.
I do that. Started doing that more. I thought it'd be cool to put the channel banner on there so people at least know, you know, what the channel is we're talking about, I guess. But I also thought it was kind of cool because when I produce the video, the last thing I do is pull the channel banner to add it to the thumbnail. And I do it so that I kind of timestamp their subscriptions when I release the thing. Not that I think I'm going to bring them subscriptions, but in 5 years from now, I can look back and be like, wow, look how this guy grew. Yeah. This is amazing. When I featured this guy on my show, he had 115 subs, and now he's got 90,000. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that'd be really cool. So that's why, to me, I do that as a timestamp for me, so that I can look back and be like, man, I'm so glad I recommend this channel. Look how awesome these dudes are doing. You know, because it's all about how awesome everybody's doing. I really just I think it's kind of cool to be able to put eyes on people. That's what it's all about. You know?
Oh yeah, absolutely. In fact, that was the entire idea behind my my guest cuts. Was
awesome. I love them, by the way.
Yeah,
love them.
Cool.
Yeah, I do. But well, you know, I'm on the road a lot, so I love that because I can pull them up and just listen while I'm driving. You know, It's great. I really enjoyed the one that you had with Andrew. I thought that was great. I was live for that one.
Yeah.
I watched Dangerous Criminals earlier today. I had to watch the Aussie. He's a buddy of mine, you know.
Well, you guys have the same camera lighting. I'll let you know that.
Yeah, I noticed.
He wasn't in his car, but the
car. No, it's nuts. But
well, you work with what you got. That's nothing wrong with that.
Oh goodness.
Wisco style, you got a wrench because you were trying to throw something in there. I thought, you know, you've been around with me for a while, so I made you a mod, man. Hey, Tony Reviews, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Yeah, the guest cuts are not only just so you know people can see the interviews minus my banter, but it's also, and this is actually the subject of tomorrow night's show. I'm going to show how you can make and a lot of people know this, I know already, but you can make a specific playlist on your channel that will house those sort of highlighted pieces of that are not totally related to your channel. Like you, for instance, when I get done with this and I create a guest cut from it, it being where it is, you can link it right into a playlist, and then people can see more of you than they will on just the recommended channel pages, because that's not the focus of your channel. I thought that was.
And tomorrow you're gonna to teach how to link things into playlists on your site? Is that what you're saying?
Well, on anyone's site, yeah, yeah. And actually, I'm going to do two things. One, I'm going to kind of show how you should perhaps categorize your page, or at least my perspective. It's all subjective, but my perspective on how a page might be categorized to make it easier for the user. Because in that graphic arts and web development, I became a user interface specialist as well. And but also how you can use other people's content, especially when it's content that you're involved in. Think of all the collaborations that people are looking to do, which this show is, right? It's like instant collaboration. You just come on and talk about yourself or whatever subject you want to, and we've collaborated on a video. Now I'm going to post it as its own little video, and you can use it any way you want to. You can throw it on. See, I'm giving it away now. I'm not going to have anything to talk about tomorrow night.
No, that's cool because, you know, like I'm constantly Googling stuff like, hey, I see this on this guy's channel. How do I do this?
Yeah.
And I want to do that because, I mean, I've gotten, you know, I've gotten some cool shout outs from some cool shows, and I want to, you know, I probably, you know, this is a small handful, but I thought it'd be kind of cool to put them together. You know, if nothing else, my kid loves watching that. He like anytime, like if I go into a live stream, you know, and I go in and, you know, and I'm like, hey, Jim, how you doing? You're like, hey, viewed this. My son's like, hey, said her name. Like, I'm not going to put all there's some, you know, like there's a channel called, and unfortunately this kid's got, I guess it's a kid. He's a college kid. He just put up a thing today saying he has to take a little bit of a break because he's got a lot going on with school and stuff. But it's this odd, crazy, weirdo channel. It's awesome, though. It's called Bubble Chinese. And, like, they teach, like, it's like people dance around with like these big dome heads on or horse heads, and it's weird, it's bizarre. But they teach you, each one teaches you Chinese word or Chinese phrase each episode. Wow. So like and he does it while he does these weird dances with this weird music and these bizarro pictures flying by. But they teach you Chinese. And I found this channel and I was like, I gotta hitch my phone into this channel for a while and see what's going on, you know. And then like he did this thing and was like, hey, you know, like I always, you know, if I'm watching your videos or whatever, I don't comment on every video I watch, but it's really like this has become like a second job for me. I'm watching videos all the time because I'm trying to find good content for my channel. So if I can, when I watch the video, because I always try to give everybody a full watch. I always try to, because I know how important watch time is, you know. And if you go through my videos sometime and you look, you'll see as from where we started to where we are now, you'll notice my videos are getting shorter because I'm starting to pay attention that I'm losing people. I'm talking too much, and I realized that I just need to tell you a little bit about the channel. You know, I want you to go check the channel out anyway. So why don't I tell you everything about it? So that's what I started doing. Like, hey, now you know a little bit about it. You know, I just got Noah in that. We recorded this week's YouTube shout of the week, which I'll be editing and putting up tomorrow or Wednesday. Great, you probably know this channel. Awesome channel, man. They're all awesome, you know. But yeah, and that's what he started doing. He started talking about it. He gave enough to hook you in, and then he was like, you know, I'm not going to sit here and tell you about it all day. You go check these guys out, you know. And that's really what we got to be doing, and keeping the video shorter so that people will want to watch all the way through.
Yeah, absolutely. And I have to imagine that that you have to go through quite a few, you know, to find those diamonds in the rough.
You do, and then as you like, I have a spreadsheet on my computer, and it's got the channel name, you know, what kind of episode did we do? Have we recorded it yet? Have we edited it yet? You know, I made a whole spreadsheet system. I've probably got 80 channels on there for the next 80 episodes. You know what I mean? Like building and building and building. So what starts happening is like I go through, I pick out, okay, this is going to be this is going to be this. I open up tabs for like 8 channels across the screen, and Noah goes through and watches them, and he picks the YouTube shoutouts of the week. That's his segment. He picks them. So all I do is I help him find them, and I line them up, and he'll sit in there and he'll go through all the channels. Like, all right, Dad, this is what I want to do. I love this channel. This is great.
Awesome. You've even got a partner in crime. That's cool.
Yeah. Grades up in school, I got a partner in crime.
yeah.
Make sure that's comes first, you know.
Oh yeah, well, and not only that, but enjoy it while you got it, man. Because as most of you know, I'm an empty nester. Let me get back to that subject in a minute. That's awesome, Ed. Yes, gold diggers. I was talking to Ed about the wife wanted to go panning for gold. Cool. And who else did I see in here a minute ago that just popped in? If I missed you, I'm sorry. But yeah, yeah. As an empty nester, the first thing you realize is, it's brief. It seems like a long time, but it's actually quite brief. The time you have with them, close at hand. Jack, how you doing, man? It's his birthday. It's Jack's birthday. Everyone wish Jack a happy birthday in the chat.
Happy birthday, Jack!
Awesome. He's a young upcoming young man. He's been on the show a couple times. Excuse me. Oh, I hate doing that. Well, listen. I'm gonna throw your channel up here real fast. You guys go check this out. This is actually real cool for any sort of promotion of young channels. I mean, I think this is so needed, especially when we're all battling the behemoth that is YouTube. It's viewed this. You can probably just do a search. Have you done a search on your name? You come right up?
Every time I search it comes right up now. When I first opened the channel, I couldn't find myself for the life of me, but I come right up now. Just my search engine.
And of course, YouTube did what it always does to me, and for some reason, you ring the bell and it doesn't stay rung. I'm starting to think that there's a limit to how many you can actually have as notifications. I don't know.
Yeah, I found out recently that I was unsubscribed from two channels that I've been watching for months and months and months. I interact with them all the time. They interact on my channel all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Two different people would come up. What I started doing now is every time somebody comments, I always click on their channel, just make sure I'm still subscribed to them, or you know what I mean?
Yep.
If I was subscribed to them, but I found two great channels, and I was like, man, I wanted to shoot them a message and be like, hey, let's go, get your head out of your butt and put up a new video, you know what I mean? And then I wrote, subscribed anymore. And I was like, well, one of them I go on almost every day to the Idiot of the Day show. It just happens to be on when I'm usually in my lull in the middle of my day during lunchtime, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I listen to Jeff talk, and I'll throw my 2 cents in the chat, and it lets me connect with my friends over in Scotland who are always in the chat there, Desmond Saunders and Posh Cats Camping, and we all just sit and talk. It's a good time. And all of a sudden one day I was like, wow, Jeff's not live streaming today. That's kind of weird. He said yesterday he'd be back on today, and I had to go look him up, and I'm like, what the heck happened here? So yeah, it's been kind of, I don't know. You definitely got to watch what's going on, because even if you're active with people, YouTube's algorithm is porking us all the time. I wake up almost every day and watch. I pull up my TubeBuddy app, watch my subs drop by 5 almost every day.
Oh, wow.
Almost every day. Yep, 5 just drops. I'm like, man, what happened? And it's not like I was in a stream where all these people were like, I got you. Well, it's nothing like that.
Right.
I wouldn't even have been on the night before, and didn't post anything. They drop. I'm like, what is going on? So it's almost like the daily 5 drop. I get up every morning, I cringe, I open up TubeBuddy and I look, and some days it says +0, nothing moves. I'm like, all right, I won today. I won. That's great.
I try not to look. I honestly try not to look at how many subs I have.
I was obsessed. Well, I've gotten better. I've gotten a lot better.
I was obsessed up until 100. I'll say that. But the reason I don't look at it anymore is because what you said earlier. This isn't a living. It's a second job, but it's not what we're going to do for a living. We do it as a passion, or as a extracurricular vocation. But so I thought, do I obsess over that, or do I just try to make my show better? And I decided I just want to try to make my show better. So I do everything I can not to look at that number. I know it's difficult because most of the times you got to navigate from that point, but it bothers me to look at it and think, am I looking at that and not paying attention to other things? So
I agree. That banner I made last night, I made it on Apple, I think it's called.
Mm-hmm.
I screwed it up and I went back to do it, and they're like, yeah, now you got to pay $15 a month. I was like, oh, you guys. Anyway, so I don't know. I got to find a better program. But either way,
who did your logo?
Huh?
Who did your logo?
I bought my logo.
I like it.
I bought it on Fiverr.
Mm-hmm.
And then just my past 2 or 3 episodes now have the intro where like it's an eye and it opens up and then the video shoots into the eye and kind of goes up and then my logo pops at the end. And I bought that on Fiverr as well. So I paid $5 for my logo, $10 for my video entrance. Best $15 I spent since I launched the YouTube channel, man. It's so like every time I watch and I see that opening video now, that intro video, I'm like, man, you know. And what I did was I took, the video that the guy made, and it's a little longer than I wanted for intro. So what I do is I chop it toward the end,
mm-hmm.
and then at the very end, like at the end of the intro, the logo's sitting there kind of pulsing a little bit, then it kind of and it just disappears. So what I do is I cut it and I take the piece I cut off and I stick it at the end of the video. So then when I chop off at the end, you see the logo and then you see it kind of fizzle out, you know? So that's, I just kind of did it as an intro and outro. So
very cool. What are you using to edit?
OpenShot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, I've been told, you know, Brad's told me about a bunch of great programs to use, and I tried to use some of them. And what's happening is, I'm finally starting to get better at OpenShot, and so now it's confusing trying to learn another one at the same time. So I figured maybe I got to wait till I really get great at this, and then I can swap around. You know what I mean?
Sure, absolutely. For those of you wondering, this is it.
Yeah.
At least the open portion. Now that's a fine open. That is a fine open. I like it. You know, I should just leave you here while you're talking.
With the dark thing, I get myself a glass of whiskey and I grab my vape and I get down to the basement and I do. You know, that's where I record them. And that video right there, that's episode 3. And after the intro, I come up with this idea where I was going to blow a big cloud of smoke in the camera,
mm-hmm.
and then dissipated. I'd start talking, and I thought after I edited, I was like, "Wow, that's awesome! That's it. From now on, that's how it's going to be on that episode."
Yeah, and you're a vapor too. Yeah,
absolutely.
I forgot about that. Yep.
Like 2.5 packs of Marbs a day, and I went to that. It cost me $30, you know, every 2 weeks now instead of. I don't know. They're $11 a pack in Massachusetts. So
holy shit! Oh man,
I'd be spending $25 to $30 a day to smoke if I was still smoking 2.5 packs of Marlboros a day.
That's ridiculous.
That's crazy.
I know. They're still about. I guess because I haven't bought cigarettes in 10 years. When I were giving them up, they were getting close to $5 a pack. I know they're much more now, but I don't think they're that expensive.
I just know how much they are because I work in liquor stores all day.
Oh yeah, you know? Yeah. You know exactly how much they are. Tony's Reviews, how are you, man? Crap, my dad makes me watch. How's it going, dude?
My dad makes me watch. We did an episode about him. He's awesome. His kids are awesome, man. That's a really cool channel.
Oh, he made the Viewed This. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's a great, man. I don't know, man. I love fun channels, man. If it's fun, man, I'm all over it. Those guys are a lot of fun. You know, they're interactive. They're really active in the community and you know, on Facebook and stuff like that. They're just that's a great channel, man. It reminds me of me working with my kid, you know. And I make him watch a bunch of crap too. It's, you know, but the movies, they're YouTube channels, you know. And I don't mean they're crap, but I mean I make him watch a ton of stuff. I'm like, get over here, sit down.
Some of which is crap, right? I mean, let's be real. I mean, that's one thing about opening up this sort of venue to the public. You'll find some rather interesting things, I'll say.
Yeah. There was a family that I was following for a little while. I'm not going to obviously say their name or their channel or anything, but
sure.
And I was following them, and I liked their content. I thought it was real true family time that you were getting. So it was real true vlogging. It was kind of neat. And they had like 60 subs, you know, and I subbed to the channel and I thought to myself, you know, man, someday, you know, I might, you know, we'll see how this goes, you know. And I watched it for a little while because I can't just, I can't just throw you up there and hope that you know, that I didn't just get lucky. And, you know, I got to watch a lot of your episodes, you know what I mean? And then they started doing where they weren't talking much. They would just, what do they call it, mukbanging all the time?
Oh yeah.
Put the camera there and you just sit there and watch them eat. And they barely would interact with the camera. So then I was like, you know, but then they started interacting more again. It kind of went back and forth. So I skipped the mukbang episodes because I'm not into watching anybody eat. When I watch anybody eat, I'll sit in front of a mirror. What knows? And then I started going to their channel, and every episode that was on there was silent live streams. You know, silent live stream, grow your channel here. And they literally would turn the cell phone on and just put it on the table, and you could hear the kid yell in the background and everything. There was nobody there, and it was just sub for sub. Just very sub crap. And they're like, they went from 60 to 970 something in like 3 weeks, and I unsubscribed. I'm like, I'm done. You know, I'm not hanging out for this.
No.
I've unsubscribed from a lot of channels that unfortunately get away from their topic. You know, listen, if you want a live stream, and I'm all about supporting each other. I really am. I find a lot of my channels from live chats and from supporting each other, you know?
Yeah.
But if I'm going to sub, I'm going to go over there and check you out. And then, you know, if it's not for me, it's not for me. I can't have 7,000 subscriptions because my sub thing never loads, you know? It's hard enough as it is now. But it's, you know, I'll let you know if you know, you'll know if I'm there because I'm commenting on your videos, you know, I'm there. You know? But just to go on and, you know, and it drives me nuts when I'll go into a room and all of a sudden people are like, hey man, I rang your bell, even better. Hey, I rang like 7 people, I rang your bell, and then you look and your sub count didn't move. It's like they're just hoping that you believe them and sub them back, you know. It's like, oh man, just knock it off, you know.
Yeah.
So I've really backed out of a lot of those. There's like a whole niche of channels that I've been looking to grab a hold of, and I started watching like a bunch of them, and I was like, all right, which one of these, you know, I need to feature one eventually. And they've all gone to just constant live streaming, haven't made a video about their own niche in months, and I got rid of all of them. It's like, if you're not gonna, I don't care if you live stream all the time, go ahead, but don't say that you're a farming channel or you're a zoo or a fishing channel or an automotive channel or whatever channel it may be, and all you're doing is watching chat on the screen and telling people sub this guy, you know, and they're not all like that. A lot of them are community support. There's a difference. There really is to me. You know, there really is. And I'm all about, you know, I'll tell you the great channels I think you should go subscribe to. You know, if you don't want to listen to me say them, just go look through my list.
Exactly. I'm doing the legwork for you.
Yeah. So,
oh, by the way, Cove Snipes, welcome to the show, my friend. Welcome to the show. Appreciate all of you being here. This is awesome. Yeah, I'm starting. What's that? Go ahead. No, go ahead, Tony.
I hope I'm not boring in the chat. I'm just kind of rambling over here, man. I don't
Oh, rambling's good. Rambling's good.
Yeah.
That's what this show is all about. I mean, it's because believe me, I could ramble for hours as well, incoherently, of course. But no, I enjoy when people get on and ramble.
Yeah,
but
you know, I just want to. I don't know. I got a lot in my head, and I like to get it all out.
I must say I'm a little worried about you reviewing my channel, recommending me.
I need to. I'm gonna have to have a live stream folder eventually, so I got a list of guys. Don't worry.
Yeah.
You know, that's the other tough part too. Like, so like I did a what was it that I did? I'm trying to remember which channel it was. It was this guy's channel. All right, yeah. So I did. Actually, it was. So he's in the chat. So I did Crap My Dad Makes Me Watch. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And there's another channel which shall remain nameless that I was kind of checking out, and it's not the same thing, but they do movie reviews. Mm-hmm. We've done 2 movie review channels so far. But this other guy, like I don't know, he was live streaming one day, and I got on. I was like, hey, what's going on? And he's like, oh, what, you don't like my channel? Like, he got upset that I didn't take his channel for the
Oh.
movie review. I was like, it's a different kind. Like, but I run into that with people. Like, oh, whoa, how come you picked this guy and not me? Like, listen, there's got to be time for everyone.
Oh.
There will be everyone that I believe in. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And it's not that, you know, it may not be that I didn't like your channel. I didn't believe in your channel. It's that this was the channel that I was enjoying more at the time. You know, that's just how it is. And you know, I don't know.
Well, you're always going to run into those sort of people. You know.
Absolutely.
Oh, look at you, dude. You've gained 3 since we've been sitting here.
Look at that, huh?
You guys are great, man. You guys are great.
I tell people all the time, like, don't, like, obviously I can't see the chat anyway, but like, you know, if people are like, oh, you know, I dropped flowers at your door, or I came and dropped you a pizza, or rang you up, all the keyword crap things, you know. Like, channel.
Well, like
check out
Go
and
ahead.
if you don't like it, then go ahead, you know, then just go. If you like it, then subscribe. And when you do, leave me a comment, because my whole channel is about finding channels. So if you leave me a comment, I'm gonna come to your channel. I go to every. Somebody was telling me that, like, man, someday you're gonna get too big, you're not gonna be able to do that. Well, until then, I'm gonna still visit every channel that comes and leaves a comment. I'm gonna comment back, and I'm gonna go check them out. I do it all the time. It's just, you know, I have the luxury in my job where a lot of times I'm sitting shotgun with a rep, and the rep is driving from account to account. Well, between account to account, I'm responding on YouTube all day to comments because I have that time. I'm just sitting in this car doing nothing, you know?
Yep.
Like, you know, I could be playing, you know, Candy Crush, or I could be doing YouTube comments. I'd much rather YouTube comment.
Much rather. And you say that, you know, if you get too big, you may not be able to do it. You know that eventually that could turn into a staff. There are a lot of channels out there that have staff members that take over because it becomes overwhelming for a single person. So never say never, dude.
There's a channel that we're doing, I think, next week's episode on, that has over 60,000 subs, and may have staff. I don't know, but this guy responds to every comment, and he might not respond for a month. And then he's like, sorry, I'm trying to stay caught up. I know you commented over a month ago, and I left this guy a comment like 3 months ago, and he commented back 2 weeks ago. I was like, hey, sorry it took me 2.5 months, but I appreciate you coming to my channel. I appreciate you subscribing. I really hope you like the content. I'm like, seriously, this guy responded to me 2.5 months later? That's awesome, you know?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, I know.
cool.
Wisco Style says that Gary Vaynerchuk still replies to all of his comments.
Love Gary V.
Yeah. That's amazing. That is amazing. And you know, you always have to wonder if he does have staff doing it. But some people are just that committed. I try to as well. I mean, I'll do the same thing you do. When I go and I find a channel that I enjoy, I'll comment on the videos and about the videos because I'm watching them, you know. And you can always tell those folks that show up and subscribe or you know, at least watch a channel, they don't watch it all the way, and they're just there in hopes that that you'll reciprocate.
And you know what else what I don't do is if I don't like someone's content, I just don't subscribe to their channel. But I never thumbs down anybody.
No,
I'm just
I don't
not that. I don't find any need to do that.
No.
You know, if you post a video and you had 200 views and you got 3 thumbs up, the message has been sent.
Yeah.
Nobody needs thumb down in you, and I just don't. That's just my personal take on it. I don't do it. I don't know. If I'm not interested, I'm just not going to subscribe. You know what I'm saying?
Nor will I.
You know, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's no, you know, I don't get it. You know, I don't get the, I don't know, whatever it is.
I got to tell you that I think I have to assume, and I'm only assuming based on anecdotal evidence, but most everybody that shows up for my shows feel the same way. And most of the people that are regulars on some of those other live streams, you can tell that they do the same thing, right? They're very discerning in who they subscribe and don't subscribe to. It's only the fly-by-nights that come through hoping to, you know, garner. Some are very subtle about it. Others are very blatant. And of course, they don't last long. But I like to think that most people, you know, they're pretty picky about who they choose to subscribe to, and that's good. That's absolutely good. I think it's the way it should be. And
My
of course,
favorite is,
go ahead.
somebody jumps in the chat. There'll be like 22 people in the chat, and they jump in. They're like, "Come on, guys, help me hit my goal. I'm close to my goal. I want to hit 300." And then you click on their channel, and they have 37 subs. Like, you ain't nowhere near close to your goal. Get to 150 first and celebrate that. What do you goal?
Yeah,
you know?
What are you trying to pull? Exactly.
And besides that, 9 times out of 10, when people were saying, "This is my goal, help me get to my goal," a lot of times they're begging because nobody's stopping by to sub because their content's not that good. And I never try. Listen, you know, one thing that Sean Cannell said in a video that I watched, he said it a bunch of times, I think, but was sorry, I'm getting comments popping up here. This is great. Manners. So he said, you know, he showed a little clip from his first video he ever made, you know, and he was like, the good thing about being able to go back and look at your first video is you can go back and be like, wow, you know. So like we've got like 22 uploads now. I think it is. It's not a lot, you know. We're still really new. But the other day I sat and watched the entire episode 1, and the camera was like this. It was on the desk. I was looking up at us, and you know, that Dan Lossie always complained about the door being open behind me in the background, which I love him for that because it made me. But yeah, I mean, we literally were sitting in my office. This stuff piled everywhere. You know, we're a family of 7. I got 5 sons. There's stuff everywhere in my house. You know, so yeah, it's tough. That's why we moved to the basement to start recording. Where else are we gonna go? But
well, I hope your phone's not dying.
But I watched that. Oh, yeah, there I am.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened there. No, I just froze for a moment there. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, you were starting to get really weird. Probably just a network bottleneck.
I mean, my phone was trying to connect the house internet. I don't know.
It is all about content, Atypical Hustlers. Absolutely. And welcome to the show, by the way.
Sorry.
Oh, no, that's okay. That's okay. I'm trying to catch up a little bit.
Yeah, the car back on. So I had it on the beginning and I shut off so that you wouldn't hear the background, but I had to turn the phone is at 25%.
Yeah, you're not using earbuds right now, are you?
No, I'm just talking.
Yeah, that's why we can't talk at the same time. Which is fine. I think it worked out real well. But yeah, what happens is your phone, it'll literally cut out the mic and the earbuds at random based on what it sees coming in. That's why you see me a whole lot of time mouth things and not say anything, because when I do, it cuts you off.
Gotcha.
Well, this was fun. 5 sons, dude. 5 sons. Good Lord.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, so we got a 12-year-old, a 9-year-old, and a 5-year-old. And when my 5-year-old was 2, 2.5, whatever, my wife said, you know, we both come from big families. I have 5 brothers. I'm one of 6 boys. And my wife is one of 5 children. And she said, you know, why don't we have one more? We'll do one. And I was like, God, I'm 41 years old. All right, we'll do one more, you know.
Well, and you didn't have a basketball team yet, so you had to.
Yeah, no, we had 3.
Couldn't stop there, right?
But now I'm 40. House, you know, it's like, oh. But yeah, it's always chaotic. It's always loud. But I wouldn't change a thing for the world, man. I wouldn't, you know. Yeah. I'm really blessed. I got a beautiful wife. You'll never see her on camera because she hates being on camera. Never. I tried talking to her, and she said, "Don't ever point that camera at me." And then I've got 5 boys. You know, you see the oldest. My 9-year-old begs me on a constant basis, let me have some kind of segment that I want to be on the show. So eventually, I'll probably work him in somewhere down the line. You know, I'm a little apprehensive at this point because of all the things going on with YouTube, children, and cutting off comments and things like that. Having a 12-year-old on the show has been safe up until now. I haven't had any problems. So he's gonna be 13 soon. But I just fear that I don't want to get the younger ones involved too much because I don't want to end up getting shut down for it.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Don't blame me at all. I was gonna say that it'd be fun to have all of them on, all the ones that are involved in what you're doing here. That would be awesome.
We did. Sorry.
No, what were you saying?
Well, we want to do product reviews. did do a product review of my 9-year-old and my 12-year-old, but we did it in the old office, and the phone was far away to get all three of us in the shot. And I looked at it afterwards, and I was like, "This is a mess. It's sloppy. I'm not putting this on the internet, and you can barely hear us anyways." And I've become really critical. You can't really tell, I guess, by looking at my videos because they're not all that great yet, but I'm getting there. But I've become really critical about what I'll put up. I took 2 episodes that were recorded in the past week, and I just threw them in the garbage and said, "No, we're recording these," because they just weren't good enough. And I just want to make sure that, as I know my videos aren't perfect, but they have to improve every time to keep people coming back. If I don't stay consistent or improve, like right now, I've got an episode that I recorded in that office. Well, we moved to a different setting now. I can't go back to that crappy office now. Be like, "Oh, here's a throwback episode from the crappy office with the closet door half open." Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, and it's funny. I mean, that's the way you got to look at it, right? You always want to improve, but that's exactly why Nick and people like him say, "Well, you got to start now." Yeah, and Sean,
yeah.
Sean's a good example too, where you'll get to look back and say, "Well, this is where it started. I'm not taking it down. It is what it is," right?
Yep.
That's
absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. I don't want to, I don't want to take anything down. I want to leave it there.
Right.
I think it's good to be able to look back at where you started, no matter where you're at. It's always good to look back at the starting line,
Absolutely.
Anything in life.
Oh, no question. No question. Well, on that note, I think that's a pretty good segue to a deep dive. Are you ready for a deep dive? Are you up for one?
Deep dive, sweet.
All right, let's do this thing.
I gotta put the rally cap on.
Deep dive.
Deep dive.
Is it okay if I call you Tony?
Please do.
Because you can call me Jim.
Yes, I hope you don't mind that.
What's that?
It's green, Jim.
All right, Tony, you know how this works, right? I have in my hand a list of 5 questions chosen especially for you. All right. And actually tonight I've decided to go on a this or that and or sort of direction.
Sure.
Are you ready to get started?
Ready, man.
Cool. Here we go.
Question 1.
All right. I think this one is actually quite appropriate given what we've talked about, because I want to get deeper into how you're marketing. So I'm going to ask, Facebook or Twitter?
Well, it's both, but I'm more active on Twitter than I am on Facebook currently because I have more followers on Twitter. So I try to do both a lot, but on Facebook it's mostly just my family and friends, and I don't want to drive them nuts.
Yep. Ding. I gotta go with that. I do the same thing. God, there's so many questions I want to go through now.
I'm probably starting to get into Instagram. So if anybody wants to go on Instagram and find me, please. I've got like 64 followers. It's not very good.
There you go.
I'm starting to figure it
out. All right. We're just going to move on. Maybe we'll save this for another conversation. All right.
Question 2.
Were you a gamer ever?
Whole life.
That wasn't actually the question. I just got to know first off. Were you a game? Did you do a lot of gaming early?
As soon as the internet came out, you could dial up. I was playing Ultima Online, which is the first that I know of MMORPG out there. Played EverQuest, Dark Age of Camelot.
Well, then the question is: mobile games or console games? What do you prefer?
PC games.
Oh no! Actually, the correct answer was pool hall bingo.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
All right. I should have known that. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Like I said, there are no wrong answers in Deep Dive.
Now, if I said Canasta, would you have given it to me?
Yes, actually. That was the alternate answer. Very good. Oh, well, there. That's the first we've had a changed answer. All right, here we go.
Question 3.
Sneakers or sandals?
Always sneakers, never sandals.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. We're looking for Crocs.
I own a pair of Crocs. I got a pair of those orange Mario Batali son of bitches, but
Oh, I wouldn't tell too many people that.
I go disc golfing, but other than that, that's the only time I wear them. Otherwise, I hate my feet. I got the ugliest feet in the world. I don't want anybody to see them.
I hear that. And on.
Question 4.
Couch or recliner?
I know I'm gonna get this wrong because recliner is the right answer, but unfortunately, I don't have a recliner right now, so it's couch. My kids broke my recliner.
Well, I can't give you a wrong answer on that. after that lead, we're gonna go with couch on that one.
Yeah, I have to recliner GoFundMe. No, just kidding.
Look, people in the chat are actually answering these. That's awesome. Hey, outdoorsy girl, she came in late. she actually answered recliner as well. So
There you go.
all right, here we go.
All right.
Final question.
Hamburger or taco?
Oh,
Ooh. Burger? Got to give you that.
Yeah.
Got to give you that. Well done, my friend. See, that wasn't hard at all, was it?
No.
No. It's all about life, man. These
Absolutely.
are the questions of life.
They're great, man. I love them. So listen, I know that the deep dive is the end, so I just wanted to give you a heartfelt thank you for having me on today, man. I really appreciate it. I hope I didn't bore too many people, but I really, really, really appreciate you getting me on here and at least getting everybody getting to understand me a little bit better and what we're about, you know.
Think nothing of it, my friend. And no, the pleasure is all mine. Trust me. I mean, it warms my heart every time someone comes on this show, because what they've told me is that they've put enough confidence in, us building a relationship, and I don't know if enough people think about that, but that means a lot. That really does. So thank.
I got to tell you what I like about you real
What's
fast.
that?
When everybody keeps saying, like, you got to find a niche, you got to do something different, or you got to be the best at what you're doing. Like, I didn't want to jump into a pool of gaming or cooking or whatever. There's so many people doing it, and there's so many great people doing it. I knew I couldn't compete. We come up with a concept of something that we developed our own niche, really. Yeah. And I know that there's probably other shows out there like this, but you're the only one that I've come across so far that has people on live and video chats with them. And I really think that that's really unique and really, it's really cool, man. So you've really kind of found a really cool niche yourself, and I wish you nothing but the best, man. I hope you grow tremendously. I really do. Well,
thanks, man. That is high praise. I appreciate that. I want everyone in the chat, if you haven't already, go check out Viewed This. I dropped a link earlier. In fact, I can drop it again. And check out what he's doing, because some of you may become one of his recommended channels someday.
Oh, there's some people in that chat that are going to be, don't you worry, I already know
it. That's the thing about these communities, man. We go around in these live streams, we end up in the same circles, right? And it's so fun to just get to know people, even if it's by text. Even more fun, of course, if they come on my show, but I'm biased.
Sure. All right, listen, I'm going to jump off. I'm going to get in the chat. I'm going to drop that guy Jesus' channel for you so you can check him out, the poet that I was telling you about.
Oh, please do. Please do.
And I don't know how much longer I'm going to be on, but I'm going to stay to the end. So thank you again. And to all you guys out there in the YouTube family, man, peace, love, and God bless. And be well. Try to be well every day. So
thanks so much, Tony. I hope to have you back on the show sometime, and I mean that sincerely. I don't actually say that just to be bullshitting, because I tell everybody that. It's great to meet people that normally we'd never get to meet.
Absolutely.
Thanks again, man. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks. Take care.
You too. Bye-bye. Did you enjoy this video? Well, you made it to the end, so I'm going to assume you did. If you want to see where this takes us, hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell right now so you don't miss out on future videos and guests. Also, make sure to comment, like, and share our videos to help us build this unique community. Thanks again for watching, and remember to always treat others as you want to be treated. See you live.